What is up, you guys? So I haven't gone live in a while, but I wanted to go live right now, really quick here, because I clicked on a video that Carlsbad cares was sharing. Larry Posner, the other individual, right, that shares content, right, um, shares my videos, shares other things. So there's someone shared a video, whether it be Larry Posner or the other individual. Um, this video clearly shows no roundabout, which before I show you guys the video, which I want to show you guys when I make the Zoom type videos that I make. I'll do that later because I just share real quick. I just share all my videos that I took of the meeting from July 18th. There's a lot of videos I need to edit and everything like that, and it's take a while. So it's all on here on my computer. So I will do that later because after I upload those videos to here, I'll then go ahead and the Zoom video and show you guys part of the video I'm talking about. But I'm talking about it real quick. We need more roundabouts. And that video that Larry Posner or the other individual, obviously that does not live here in California to begin with, we the video is not sharing, it's not showing a roundabout. Someone obviously just, my guess is from Carlsbad Cares Group, made that video into making us think that if we have a roundabout, that this is, or when we have a roundabout, two more roundabouts actually, that it's going to be what this part of this video is showing. And quite honestly, I find that video very disturbing. And actually, I'm going to share with you right now because it's in my history right now. So clearly, whoever, I don't know whoever this is, they have like one video, and somehow this one video and this video somehow has 31 million views. I don't know who this person is, on whoever this is. I don't understand how you could have one video and it's a really dumb video. Over 5 years ago, and it having 17, this person having 17,000 subscribers with just one video. And this video alone, over the last 5 years, gained a mass viewing of 31 million views. There's 18,000 comments, so I'm not going to read any of them right now. But as you can see here, that is not a roundabout. That is not a roundabout. That is an intersection right there. They're saying there's 30. The first part of that video doesn't make any sense. However, we need to have and we clearly had a lot of, because when I was watching the video, Um, we clearly had a lot of uh, confusion going on. Um, and so I just wanted to bring up real quick that, there's a lot of, you know, a lot of conflictions going on about this issue. And quite honestly, I am just sick and tired of hearing about how a lot of people are saying that they think that roundabouts cause problems. And again, I'm going to say it about a million more times over when talking about this, because I find it to be very smooth, and there's no congestion whatsoever. And for someone to say that even not in the summertime, we're not like a busy holiday, just on a regular day, it's congestion. Are you serious right now? So that individual that said that, I mean, come on. And then also with what you're going to hear of now, Michael Hadrick spoke. So thank you for that. And also thank you for, even though it was very like hard to sit to talk about, but thank you for mentioning it anyway. Uh, that because of the traffic signals that we have going on right now, that there was unfortunately, like obviously, like years ago, as you mentioned, Michael Hedrick. Michael Hedrick mentioning that years ago, um, that there was a accident um, at that very same intersection, and people blow through that intersection. People blow through all intersections, quite honestly, and I would say that I'm on Carolyn Luna's side on the fact that we need to have it'll be weird. I'm not gonna lie, it'll be very very bizarre, but turning the intersections into um, roundabouts would be a great way. And because honestly, having because what roundabouts do, and it's very true. And I you're gonna see that in that video that I forgot to upload it before recording various sections of that video, that uh, the meeting. Um, but it what you're gonna see as well, what you're seeing that video that I made earlier, the Zoom video that I made earlier, is that the what you're gonna notice that on the San Diego Bike Coalition is that they have a very detailed, very accurate, you know, uh, picture, or like animation, very accurate animation about uh, what it looks like. And quite honestly, and with the Tom Frank, we're seeing that video, or one of the videos. I got to go through it and edit, and it's taking me all night to edit. So it's taking me throughout the night to edit these videos and upload them. Because the Melanie Burkholder, my God, she talked for a long time with her questioning. So it's taking me a long time to edit and everything like that. It was like back and forth. So it'll take me a long time. Okay. Don't worry, with Melanie Burkholder, it's still going to be Melanie Burkholder tantrums on roundabouts. So no worries on that. And so, but anyway, so what I wanted to go over as well is that when Tom Frank, and this was like very interesting, and I really, really, really wanted you to see it as well on my channel. And why I record it for you guys to see on my channel is what Tom Frank was showing everybody is a, like a very accurate uh, animation video of how the roundabout would work, how roundabouts work actually as well, and that it would be, the way that it's hard to explain, but I really love that video animation that he shared, Tom Frank shared, because it depicts everything that we are hoping for, that we know that we're going to be having when this is completed by 2026. And so we have a timeline, we have a deadline of when we need to get the ball rolling on this, and that is mid 2025 or late 2025. And so somewhere in the year 2025 is the deadline of when we need to stop talking about it on the city council, to stop talking about it on here, um, and to vote, having it be okay. This is what we can do. This is what needs to be done. This is what we want. This is what we don't want, kind of thing, right? So we have a deadline. That's mid or late 2025, right? So from the Coast News Group and the other articles about this is that that's when we have the deadline, and by the year 2025, by the mid late 2025 is when the latest that we can start building the two roundabouts, and it'll take a year to complete. So mid late 2026, it'll be completed. So I really hope that we can get the ball rolling when we have to get the ball rolling, which is mid late 2025. So I really hope that we can get that going, because I would love to see people be more happier and be safe. And I would love for this to happen. And you're also going to hear from a gentleman that's talking about, I forget what his name is, but um, he was mentioning that him and his wife, and it's not just him and his wife, but I can't remember if it said apartment complex or houses. I can't remember if it's houses or apartment complexes. I haven't been to that part of to North Carlsbad in a long, long time, so I forget honestly what that part of Carlsbad looks like. But anyways, but I forget if he said apartment complex or houses. But he said that it's not just him and his wife that want this, but it's also the other people that live in those houses or apartment complexes. And then somebody mentioned that I forget who it was. I can't remember if it was a city council person, city councilman, or some city councilwoman, woman, or if it was Tom Frank or Lauren Farrell. But there's pretty much everybody who works at Vigilucci's, the very high end, expensive like restaurant. I've never been there before. I'm I don't have that kind of money to go eat there. It looks like very expensive. But someone was saying that Vigilucci's, every single person that works there, including the manager, boss, everybody, they all want the roundabout as well. And take it from those people over at Vigilucci's, and that gentleman and his wife and the others that live in those houses over there, or apartment complexes or whatever. So take it from those people that see what's going on at that intersection on a daily and nightly basis, and see the fatalities that are continuing to happen, and the confusion and everything like that. We need to have these roundabouts, no doubt about it, right? Something needs to change, and what you're going to hear a lot is there's a lot of individuals, a lot of residents that actually, besides drive, they also uh, bike, walk daily there, weekly there, and so they notice it as well, and they're concerned for their safety as well. And yes, there are a lot of people, where we're gonna have these two roundabouts, on the same streets here. These um, there's beach, right? There's the beach right there. So Tamarack Beach, and so a lot of people, you know, um, we're looking around their beach chairs, their surfboards, boards, what have you, right? And so, especially because they're carrying a lot of that stuff, there needs to be a safer way to cross the street, going to the beach. There's houses on this side, houses on this side, restaurants, what have you, hotels. There's a hotel actually I know, like down, like further down. And so we need to make sure that there's a lot of foot traffic and things like that. There's a lot of foot traffic, a lot of car traffic, a lot of bike traffic, and we need to make it safe as possible. And someone was also mentioning, another gentleman was mentioning how you know Carlsbad needs to be in the 21st century. The whole thing about you know with us, the whole thing, like with it being you know that these I can't remember what year he said, but it was like a long time ago, right? Decades and decades ago, centuries ago. That this whole idea of having traffic signals is a blast from the past. We need, he didn't say a blast from the past or anything like that. I'm saying that, but it's in the past. It's over with. People are blowing through intersections everywhere, and the amount of deaths and injuries, severe injuries, are continuing to happen, right? Even though that the part of Carlsbad, which is near my home, actually, the part of Carlsbad that I was hit, that I was struck by a car, definitely not my fault. Um, is because that street is also dangerous too. People blow through all intersections daily, and intersections, the traffic signals in general, intersections, it gives people the opportunity to drive recklessly, drive dangerously, be very, very fast, and we need to be safe. Okay. So, those of us on bikes, scooters, walking, skateboarding need to be able to, when we're on our bikes, e scooters, e bikes, walking, skateboarding, e skateboarding, we all need to be able to have the opportunity to be safe about it and not have to worry about um, being hit, which happens to all of us on the daily, despite the fact that this is the only way we can get around, so to speak. Me and others on e scooters and e bikes. This is the, for some of us, it's our only option right now, and some it's they have the option. But for those of us where our e scooters, our e bikes are the only way for us to get around town, sorry, it's our only way to get around town. And I only take Uber when I necessarily have to. So until I get my driver's license, riding my e-scooter is the only way I can get around town. Um, and so again, I just want to make that crystal clear here for everybody because again, my e-scooter is the only way for me to get around town right now, and I just there's no other option for me to get around town right now. Is I'm not gonna take an Uber everywhere I go down here, right? So I only take Uber if I necessarily have to. Um, but when I am going to the outlet mall, when I'm going to Starbucks, when I'm going to Rite Aid Shopping Center, those are basically the main places that I go on my e-scooter. And that's the outlet mall and that's Starbucks, the Armada. Starbucks over by Burger Lounge. So Burger Lounge, that's Starbucks. Um, and the Carlsbad Outlet Mall are pretty much as far as I'm ever gonna go. Quite honestly, on my scooter right now, I am not in the mood to push its limits. I did push its limits to a point when going to Encinitas City Hall. That's because there's no other option for me to get up there. So when we were done, still pictures and all that, I rode actually because I checked on, that find my app to see where Callie was and where, Dad was because they were at the beach. Um, so I was checking my notifications. I went to the camera. Anyways, so yeah, and so I checked because that tag that I bought recently, like a few months ago, and Unleashed Pecco, by the way. So, um, you know, uh, they were still at the beach. And so I was like, okay, my battery's going to die, but I'll still, instead of having him and Cal drive all the way to Encinitas City Hall to come get me, I'm just going to meet them at the beach. So that's what I did. So I can fit my scooter in the back of our car and have Cal in the back as well at the same time. Especially with the way we have our car now, which I'm glad that he agrees on this. And there's something that I want to go over, and I'll go over it real quick in this live video, but it's important. So if you have a dog or two dogs, so to speak, one thing that I want to mention is that, we have like, there's to keep your dog safe. There's something that I bought at Pet Feed, Carlsbad Pet Feed, that I truly love, and um, it breaks my heart when I see dogs that are on the person's lap in the front seat. Um, One time we were in the car, we were driving, and there was a big white truck in front of us, and they had their huge dog, basically on the bed of the truck. And can you imagine, especially in that situation, those two situations, can you imagine if either of those two were to get in an accident? Because when people have their dogs, whether it be their little dogs, big dogs, it doesn't matter. They're sitting on your lap, sticking their head out the window. They're not, restrained in the back seat, which they should be to be safe. Um, if Because I recently did see that just as I was getting off my scooter at Rite Aid Shopping Center, I saw a lady and her little dog, was on her lap, and uh, the dog's head was sticking out the window. Can you imagine if that lady got into an accident? That little dog would have flown out the window. And then the guy in front of us, when we were driving one day to the beach, had their big dog in the bed of the truck. Can you imagine if he got in an accident? That big dog would have flown way far, way, way far out of the truck and actually be killed. Same with that little dog flying out the the driver window. So it's the more I think about it, this is gonna all tie into let's be safe. Okay? Because there's one thing that I bought, and I really love that we bought this, that I bought this actually, is that I bought this belt, this like seat belt for a dog. So one end clips just like a regular clip, right? Clip it into the just like your seatbelt clip, right? Has that same exact end to it. And that end clips into the thing, right? In your car. And this other end has a clip on it, regular like clip, and that clips onto your dog's harness or leash. But I mean, not leash, collar. I would not recommend putting a putting it on, clipping it onto your dog's collar. No, that's not safe. Put your leash, put the harness on your dog, and then once they get into the back seat of your car, clip them in. Okay, have that be installed in your car at all times. Okay, so for those of you that have dogs, I mean, because the reason why I started doing this with Cal is because every time we leave the beach, because it's a daily routine thing that we go there every single morning or every single afternoon after we've eaten somewhere. And there's been many times where we have been close to getting hit because somebody wasn't paying attention by turning, right? Other freeway, like the other intersectional freeway, going to like a Costa area. And um, so it's on La Costa Avenue. And let's see, I'm going to bring up something real quick here. I'm going to look it up on Google here. Let's see. Costa Avenue. So it would be I'm trying to think here. Where is it? It's like you know where that new hotel is, but on the beach, on South Pono Beach. That's what I'm talking about. And so there's too many people that are not paying attention to people doing a U-turn. So if we're not going to turn left and then get onto the freeway, right? So if the freeway is too congested to come home that way, when leaving that beach, then we will do a U-turn, right? We do that every day. He has us do that. He does that every single day. And so what we're trying to make a point clear is those people that are turning onto that street are not paying attention whatsoever to people doing a U-turn on that street. And so it is very, very concerning. And that's why I started doing this is to putting our back seats up and having them stay up. And then, you know, and so so it makes it easier, right? So back to the scooter thing. I can put my scooter easily. Plus, I like it that way. If I need him and Cal to come get me, and my scooter is dead or whatever, um, or I just don't have enough, power on my scooter to get home. I need him and Cal to come get me. Then I can just easily fold down my scooter. Or if he wants me to meet them at Benihana or something like that, great. I can easily fold it and then fit it in the back seat, in the back of the car, or it belongs in that part of the back of the car. And also back to the dog thing, right? This seatbelt thing for your dog is super, super important. And I advise you, if you live down here, go to Carlsbad Pet Feed and drain those shelves by buying those. Grab them, buy them if you have a dog, because we need to keep our dogs. Sorry, Cal. We need to keep our dogs safe. Okay, so the routine every single day when we go to the beach, every single day when we go to get something to eat, every single day. Doesn't matter where we're going. Doesn't matter where we're going. It's either we're going to the beach or we're going. So, we're going to get something to eat. Um, the routine is we grab her harness, put it on her, and we get in the car, buckle her in. She's all good, and I have it at a not enough like distant like length for her to still stick her head out the window. She doesn't stick her head fully out the window, but she's able to go like this and like look out the window, which is fun enough. And Callie doesn't mind that. I'd much rather her be safe than if, because like if we were to ever get in an accident, and I would say get an accident right there when we leave the beach, making a U-turn. That's a really like dangerous spot. So if we were to ever get in an accident, or if any of you that have dogs were to ever get in an accident right there, more so likely, it'd be better for you and your dogs to be injured than killed, if that makes any sense. And that better makes sense. Because I'd rather have me, Dad, and Cal be severely injured, if anything, at the worst, be severely injured, than and survive than us three being killed. You know what I'm saying? Because our dogs are our main priority, and we need to keep them safe at all costs. So again, that's like the routine every single day, every single day. Doesn't matter where we're going when we take Cal with us. It does not matter. Put our harness on, get in the car. I before I get in the car, I go to that side of the door, open it up, buckle her in, clip her in basically, right? 'Cause that other end clips onto the harness or collar, but I recommend, and at this point, not just recommending it, but telling you, put a harness. If you don't have a harness for your dog, buy one. If you don't have this seatbelt thing for your dogs, buy one. Like I said, go to Pet Feed down the street, or go to the one in Carlsbad Village I have yet to go to, and buy it. Go buy it. It's very vital that you do so for your dog, because for your dogs, because it's very, very, very important. It's very important, and it's better to keep you guys safe. At the very worst, be severely injured if ever an accident, than be killed. And also your dog killed, right? So just because we wear seatbelts, but we're not having our dogs have seatbelts on, it would be our dogs getting killed and us getting severely injured. And I would hate for that to happen for us, for my family, and I would hate for that to happen for anybody else as well, and their dogs as well. So that's another thing, because it's super important that we keep our dogs safe. We keep our dogs safe. They're our family. Our dogs are not just our dogs to us. They're our lifeline. They're our safety. And I noticed a few times when my friend takes his dog to the doggy daycare, and he has a big truck, right? He has a big truck, and I really love how he's taking real good care of his dog. I'm not going to mention his name. I'm not going to mention his dog's name for privacy and safety reasons, because I know a lot of you that watch my videos live in the neighborhood and live quite close to where I live, and you mentioned before, you know where I live. So I am, for that very reason, I am not going to mention his name. I'm not going to mention their dog's name for their safety, for their safety, and to make sure they don't get harassed by you guys that live here in this neighborhood. And I mentioned that you guys live really close to where I live. You know exactly where I live. Um, so yeah, and I noticed that when he gets out of the car, right? I noticed that he actually, I it takes him a while to get his dog unbuckled because he keeps his dog buckled. I noticed that, and I really appreciate how he doesn't have his dog in the bed of the truck, which I really appreciate that, and I love this family so much. I've known this family for such a very long time, and this dog being their first ever dog, quite honestly, they're doing a very good job making sure that they are safe, and especially in the car, safe. He's mostly, the dog mostly goes with him in the truck, and I really appreciate how the like actual like back seat of the truck, the actual like the seat, like the back seat of the truck, buckled in, as I notice it when they just take him out of the car when they get home. So I noticed that a couple times. Um, and I've noticed it because like I'm out there, I'm on our neighbor's lawn that told me that I can go water our flowers all the time. So I just happened to look over up, and I notice it because and I'm glad I do because like I mentioned to you guys, look, this is something I really greatly appreciate that he does, and for them, like this dog being their first ever dog, they're doing a phenomenal job taking care of him, very phenomenal job, and it amazes me so well. I love it like crazy that they're doing a wonderful job. And so, this whole idea of it's just all about safety. And again, we need roundabouts because, I believe that if we can implement roundabouts over there at La Costa Avenue, and I forget the street name, but it's over by um, the beach, South Panel Beach. Um, and I believe we need a roundabout. Take away the intersections, get rid of them. Take away the traffic lights, get rid of them, and let's add roundabouts to make it safer. Um, we need to have safety in the city, and that is adding roundabouts as many places as we possibly can to make it safer. And yes, what roundabouts do, it is true. Roundabouts do, uh, it does actually make drivers purposefully stop. It makes them slow down, and it when you have roundabouts, it's not a maybe no kind of thing. It's a yes, we actually need it kind of thing. There's way too many accidents, way too many deaths in our city, throughout the city. Quite honestly, not just where we're going to be putting these two roundabouts um, within the next 2 years. It's everywhere here in Carlsbad, both north and south. It is everywhere. And for the majority of you know, and I know all of the Carlsbad Cares Group people know, and I know a lot of people in my neighborhood know as well, that I was hit 2 years ago. Um, and quite frankly, we all know it's not my fault. It was that lady's fault. And so we need to have safety, and people blow through that intersection all the time. People blow through that intersection like you wouldn't believe. Every single street in our city is extremely dangerous, as extremely unsafe. And as someone who was hit, sent to the hospital, there's and hearing about more and more of this happening, and then recently one person in Encinitas, one person in Carlsbad, both killed. They were on their e-bikes, and it's not. And the more I think about it, it's not the whole e-bike thing. It's not just e-bike. A lot of these kids and teenagers not following the rules and whatnot, but it is also drivers as well. There needs to be somehow, some way for this to be all prevented. And one way is, since we cannot, I don't think we ever can, or I don't think we're ever able to be able to, stop and like pull over, you know, drivers that are driving recklessly and whatnot. There's like way too many of them. Roundabouts is the only option we got. Traffic signals, it's already a done deal. We're not going to do that. We're not going to go with that option. And I don't know. This is what we need is roundabouts. It is going to prevent collisions. It's going to prevent pedestrians, bicyclists, e-scooters from dying, from getting hit, period. And the idea of having those two options for us on bikes and scooters to do one of two things, like Tom Frank was mentioning, I think that's a wonderful idea, quite honestly, because we can either, if we're comfortable enough and we feel safe enough to do so, we can go with the flow with the traffic, and then we exit the roundabout, proceed back into the bike lane. Or if we don't feel safe enough or comfortable enough, there's a different option. Not on the sidewalk, but there's like a different way to go around it into the bike lane. I truly believe it's a great idea. One way roads, great idea. Um, One way roads. There's one way one run one one run one 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 way road that I know of that I've ridden my scooter on millions of times. And it's one easier way to get to Encinitas. And I've noticed, because there's no like bike lane either. There's no bike lane in that street. So, but I've noticed that people, and it's what I find is that, which this needs to be addressed. But this is Encinitas' problem, so I might bring it up to Encinitas City Council and bring this up at some point, because I think it's an Encinitas problem. I truly believe it is, because it's like I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. It's where that one elementary school is. There's like houses. Another way, there's the train tracks in the middle, and then there's the other part of Encinitas, like the 101 like highway, like streets. I would say there's like shops and whatnot where you know what's it called our E for E and Encinitas for Equality, where we used to have it right there. And then over here, there's train track, train tracks, and then you have the that one way road. Um, there's like one lane, right? One lane. Um, and I see it all the time. Every time I go on that road on my bike, on my e scooter, it had happened to me on June 1st. Again, it happens to me every single time. That where people, where drivers, they they're dangerously cutting me off. I mean, you can't do that, right? And especially not on a one-way road, right? One lane road, right? Because you got the lane, one lane. There's no bike lane. whatsoever. There's zero bike lane. It's just the one way road, right, where everybody has to share. Everyone has to share that road. Um, and then you got the two solid yellow line, and then you got the road, the one way road. Again, no bike lane going the other road, the other side going that direction, this side going this direction. And I see it all the time when I'm on that road. Um, but when I have to, I go that way nowadays. And I see it all the time. People are cutting me off. I'm like, hey, what do you want me to do? There's no bike lane, and it's dangerous. And one thing I want to mention to city council and bring it up, and there's so many road issues going on, and I'm gonna bring it up, but bring it up slowly. So many things that I want to bring up around, especially where places, the streets of Carlsbad that I'm on daily, daily and nightly, right? Nightly only Rite Aid, right? A lot of you know that already. But there's a lot of parts of here in Carlsbad that I'm on daily, and quite honestly, one of them being when you're leaving Rite Aid Shopping Center and you're turning right, it's that one part of the street. One, there's no bike lane, first of all, for majority of the way. Although it's when you leave like Jack in the Box area. Jack in the Box is the best way I can explain it. Um, what Rite Aid is, right? So there's this one part of that road, right, where it's so badly damaged. I know that cars don't notice it. So I know that when we're in the car, we you can't feel it, but when you're on a bike or scooter, you do feel it. So, I and drivers or people in cars are like going lightning fast, and so yeah, I do worry about getting hit, but at the same time, I'm making sure I'm safe about it when turning to then go to the rest of that street and then turn, right again to then go and like come home. And quite honestly, like it's basically there's like so many cracks in the road. So if you ride your bike or scooter on that road, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because us on e-scooters and bikes and e-bikes, we do feel it. We do feel it because I don't know why, but I know within cars, because when we're in our car, you can't really feel it driving a car, but when you're riding a bike or scooter, you do actually feel that like you're like bumps. Um, it's kind of odd, but there and plus I look over sometimes over by that Starbucks and all that, right? Jersey Mike's, and I see there's like, excuse my language, but a crap ton of bikes all clumped together. And that means there's a lot of people on bikes. So those on bikes, me on scooter, we feel it, right? So and when we're riding our bikes and scooters over that part of the road, we feel it and we're bumping. We're like going like this. In a car over that, you're going like you don't feel it, right? But when you're on a bike or scooter, you're going like this. And it's very dangerous. That's one thing that I want to bring up with city council and see if we can get that fixed. Because you know how for those that live, so the calls of fire departments, that's right there, and then our pool, and then those people that live in those apartment complexes, and those that live here in my neighborhood, um, that go to that pool a lot, right? Why is it that that street got fixed finally? And it got double fixed. Quite honestly, like they fixed it, the smoothing, everything like that. Added like actually like added like the painted lines and stuff like that, which is actually great. Like the first time I saw that, the painted lines, I was like, whoa, that blew me away when seeing that for the first time. I still get blown away when I see that because it makes me happy that that streak got finally fixed and everything, and finally like painted yellow lines and white lines and the words. But what is concerning though, because that street was even worse. But this street over here that I'm talking about, the part of this street I'm talking about is really bad still. And my what I want to ask at some point to city council is, and I'll ask an email first, obviously, but I will also ask at a city council meeting and bring it up. I think there's a lot of, public comment at the very, very end of the meeting of like a non agenda item or whatever. But at some point, I'm going to go to city council meeting and bring it up as a non agenda item because it's got to be an agenda item. Because what I want to ask, and I'll ask Priya personally because she lives in my neighborhood and she lives in my district. Um, and so I would hope that, yeah, she would know about what I'm talking about. Because my question to city council and the mayor and Priya specifically, because she lives in my neighborhood in my district, is that when are we going to finally get that part of the street fixed? Because those of us, those on e-bikes and bikes, and those and me and my scooter, and and it that when we're going over that one part of the street when turning, we can feel it. We can feel the bumps, and that's very concerning. Now, the one like with the pool air with the apartment complexes and the pool and the our pool jacuzzi and the apartment complex of the fire department, you know, great. That street finally got fixed, got painted finally, and everything like that. The yellow and white got finally painted. Great, love that. Finally got fixed. It's been decades since that got fixed as well. But I was hoping that after that getting fixed, that street getting fixed, painted up, that hopefully that this part of this street was gonna get fixed as well. Um, because I would love to, I'm pretty sure everyone on bikes as well is gonna want to as well have that nice feeling of riding. All of us on bikes and scooters are gonna want that nice feeling one of these days. Finally, we're all of us on bikes and me on my scooter. We're all waiting for that day finally to ride our e-bikes and e-scooters being smooth. It'll be a weird feeling at first, weird change, weird feeling at first, but it'll be a nice feeling for once, right? When we leave that shopping center. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of us there on the daily, right? And there's so many of us, right? It's not just me and my scooter that goes down there all the time. And I've seen it, a lot of, you know, because when I'm down there, I'm at Rite Aid, I'm at Jack in the Box, I'm at Jersey Mike's, I'm at Primo's, I'm at Pelly's just for fries, by the way. Um, um, and at where else am I at over there? Pet Feed, UPS store. Um, because the Carlsbad Cares group, I have to be at the UPS store getting things printed out to mail to the police and the Vista Court. But yeah, I look over and I see that over by Jersey Mike's and the Starbucks and all that. I notice there's like a shit ton of bikes, like all clumped together. And then some days it's just a couple bikes. Some days it's a swarm of teenagers with their bikes clumped all together. So and it'll make it a lot easier for all of them on the bikes and me on my scooter to finally have that nice feeling to when we leave that shopping center to come home, right? It'll be a nice feeling for once to be riding our bikes and my scooter smoothly for once. So that's like one of the questions I'm gonna bring up, proposal, I'll bring up like, hey, when are we gonna finally get that fixed? Um, because I actually have because like on I forget if it was Carlsbad ca.gov or if it was somewhere else, but I did submit something to ask, hey, can this get fixed? And it'll get fixed, blah blah blah. It never got done, and it's been a really long time. I would say like a good like 1 or 2 years maybe hasn't gotten done. I understand we got a lot of other like road issues going on, like with this roundabout we're to be voting on, and the deadline. It's the mid to late 2025 is the deadline to oh, for sure without a doubt get the ball rolling on this roundabout thing. Two new roundabouts. Finally, like we've been wanting more than just that roundabout on State Street for a long time. So I can say for safely say for all of us that are heavily in support of the round adding these two new roundabouts in Carlsbad, in that north part of Carlsbad, we have been wanting more than just that one roundabout State Street. We have been wanting more than just that one for a very long time, and it's been a long time coming. We got till 2025, mid to late 2025 to get the to get it started, and then it'll be finished. But mid to late 2026, it'll take a year. Tom Frank and Lauren Farrell said it would take about a year to get it finished, and so we've been wanting this to happen for a long time. So I'm glad that we're talking about it more. We're getting it done, getting the ball rolling, everything like that. But again, with this part of the street, there's more of us on bikes and scooters than you think. And there's as far as going to Rite Aid shopping center, where I kick somebody doing shopping, things like that. And so the only time that I'm down there in the car, quite honestly, is when we take me to the dentist because Dad pays for my dentist appointments. So I can get there on my scooter, but because it's like right there. But however, since he's paying for it, which coming up soon, I have a sorry, I don't know. That actually hit my chin. I have a crown getting put in, and then in November I have another cleaning. So yeah, and plus you know but anyway, I don't know why I said plus. Don't know what I was gonna say after that. Anyways, so yeah, the rest of the time I'm on my scooter, but we need to have safety in mind, and getting that part of the road, getting part of that street is also a priority, a top priority, and that hasn't been fixed, hasn't been even touched to get looked at. I've never seen any construction worker or anything like that look at it. It's been ignored for the better half of I don't know 20 something years. It's never been even fixed, or at least attempted to be fixed, not even once. And I've lived here for almost 30 years. I've lived here for almost 30 years. And I've been riding electric scooters for I think like 3 or 4 years now. I've been riding electric scooters, and let me tell you, when going over that it on a scooter or a bike, it is excuse my language, but it is a bitch because you can feel the bumps when going over that part of the street. You can feel the bumps with a bicycle wheel, with a electric scooter wheel, or electric scooter tire. Sorry, you can feel it. You can feel it on electric scooters and bikes. You could feel it without a doubt. And even when riding that electric bike that I have, that I do plan on getting fixed, by the way. Um, so now that I have my garage door open during the summertime nowadays, because I accidentally broke my standing fan, I need to get it fixed or get a new one. Um, I more or less leave the garage door open until I go to bed. Um, and so, and you guys see that I have like a bunch of scooters leaned up against the wall and that one electric bike against the wall. And you are most likely asking yourselves, why do you, how come you haven't gotten rid of them? Well, let me just answer your guys' questions here. With my neighbor that probably been thinking about that lately, and I'm gonna tell you guys this: it's because I plan on getting them fixed. Okay, I plan on getting them fixed, and so that is the plan with that. Even when I did have an electric bike working and it was working fine, also on the electric bike, I could feel it. I could definitely 100% feel the bumps on that street. Um, and so, for those of you that are wondering why I go slow as best as I can on my e-scooter going over those bumps, it's because I don't want to potentially cause an accident or cause myself to um, you know, fall off my scooter, basically. So for those of you that are driving behind me on that one street and wondering why are you going slow, blah blah, it's because of that. I try not to go too fast, but it's because I try to go at a steady speed as best I can when riding my e-scooter over that, because when I'm leaving Riot Shopping Center, because it's bumpy. So my question to city council and the mayor is, when are we ever going to get that fixed? Like when are we going to get that fixed finally? Because it has been a long time coming. Seriously, it's been a long time since we have. But I mean, I have never seen. I mean, I love the city engineers and everything like that, and thank you, Tom Frank, and Lauren Farrell, and the others for what you do. But please go take a look at that part of the street, and take a good hard look at it and tell me that it does need to be fixed. It doesn't be fixed, because if you're gonna come back to the council saying it's not gonna be fixed, can't be fixed, blah blah blah, whatever, it does need to get fixed. I mean, the street that you know the finally got fixed. It finally got um, yellow painted lines, and the white wording. I, I, I don't know. I rarely ever ride my scooter on the street anymore. But what I'm trying to say is that you know um, that needs to be fixed. That needs to be looked at. And one of these days, actually, I'm going to make it a mission of mine that tomorrow I go down there and I actually, when leaving, if I can remember to do so, excuse me, like real quickly, like just like right on the sidewalk for a little bit, just so I can like stop real quick, video, and explain this is what I'm talking about, um, to make it easier, if that makes any sense, because this needs to be fixed. There's no question about it. And hopefully, when I do that tomorrow at some point, you guys will comment, saying thank you for doing this. And, you know, that video will be titled, Dear City Council, Dear Carlsbad City Council, um, basically, because it needs to be fixed. So, anyways, thank you guys for watching. Those videos that I recorded from the city council meeting, I'll definitely be edit all that stuff, the iMovie and all that stuff like that. You already know that. And it'll take me throughout the whole night to do so. So you most likely won't be seeing the videos till like tomorrow, most likely. Later, not till like maybe like late tonight or early morning at some point. So do want to get it done and everything like that. So I want to jump on live real quick. But yeah, that video, there was like zero roundabouts. And the parts of this weird, I don't know how that individual for 5 years has gained 17,000 subscribers, and that one video alone has 31 million views. I don't understand how could you have one video and so that doesn't make any sense. Like it just they're taking away the subscribers and views from channels like mine and other people that are making videos and um so yeah, like let's get to 2,000 subscribers. But yeah, anyways, see you guys in the next few videos and stay tuned for those videos. Do apologize, be up there like 2 days late than I said I was gonna do so, but anyways, see y'all in the next few videos. And yeah, I haven't been on live in a long time, so thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Y'all know my live's really long anyway. But anyways, if you haven't already, what the heck are you doing? Subscribe, like, comment, and there's a TikTok video that I'll make later on. But I'm gonna wait because there's like 2 disgusting comments that I got. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and so is it is it in here? No. Tell no. It's in here. So real quick here, I am gonna just tell you guys right now. There's these 2 individuals that are commenting on my videos, and it's my video, already my TikTok video that I titled for my YouTube channel, saying when will she just leave me alone and stop commenting on my videos? There's like Lulu Steffens, and then to my surprise, 2 individuals commented on my video. Captain Texas Official 994 said, "Leave your neighborhood alone, and maybe people will stop." And then Blizzard 1218 said, "Leave your neighborhood alone." Them. So these 2 individuals are very disgusting, very, very mentally disturbed individuals. So I'll definitely be, it's I don't know. They're very disturbed people and need to leave me alone. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and again, I'll be doing a TikTok video about those 2 individuals later. But I wanted to get this all done first, and then I'll make that video. But yeah, all right. See you all next videos. Peace.